Prepare yourselves for a battle of epic proportions between two titans. Feast upon their voices and revel in their words. This is Dueling Ogres.
Hello, Ogres, and welcome to episode 128. Thank you for joining us, as always, on this prestigious Thursday evening. Earth date, October 19th, 2017. I almost said 2019. I almost skipped ahead 2 years into the future.
Coming from the future.
Coming to your ears from the future.
I'm not supposed to talk until you introduce me, sorry.
Well, yeah. Know your role. Know your place. Know your place in this podcast.
Just say funny things and shut the fuck up.
It's directly under my boot. I'm your host, Remington Hitchcock, and with me as always my co-host, Brandon Full. Now you can talk, Brandon.
Coming from the future.
Coming from the future.
Remington, what's the future like? Let's tell the audience. In the future, cars are also back massagers. In the future, cats sleep with dogs. What?
I mean, that happens in the past, too.
In the future, volcanoes don't. What? I feel like we can do our own in the year 2000. But it'll just end with what?
That's dumb.
No, it's great.
Volcanoes don't?
In the future, airplanes also drive on the street. What? I feel like we got something with this.
I mean, all of those ideas are lame.
In the future, trees have guns.
Okay.
What?
I can get behind that.
I think that would get pretty annoying pretty fast.
Yeah.
What?
I don't know how many times I could do a high-pitched what.
That's all that's in the future.
Yeah, just...
Volcanoes don'ting. Trees with guns.
Yeah.
Airplanes that drive on the street. What?
Yeah, and cars that give you back massages.
Yeah, I do like that. I feel like there's cars now that probably give you a back massage.
I mean, they've got the heated seats and the cooling seats. Are you telling me that they haven't put a shiatsu in there yet?
Wouldn't that be a little dangerous in the driver's seat?
I mean, would
get
it?
A back massage while you're driving?
Would it? I mean, when you sit in a shiatsu chair...
Shiatsu chair.
Fucking...
Shiatsu chair. Nice to meet you.
I'm a little drunk. I'm sorry. When you are sitting in a shiatsu chair... Are you really feeling so orgasmic that you couldn't focus on something else?
I think shiatsu chairs are super uncomfortable.
I agree.
It's like little fists, like little strong-ass babies that are just punching your back.
Yeah.
And it makes that like noise the whole time.
Yeah. So it's very uncomfortable because you know you have a machine dipping behind you.
Yeah.
Just being all up on your tush and your back. Mostly your tush.
Yeah.
I usually just put my ass against the back of the chair.
Yeah, you shove your tush right up into it.
Yeah, get right up on there.
I like it when it gets the taint.
I do. My taint is really relaxed afterward, though.
Would you then call it a shih tzu massage? I'm sorry.
That was the joke that we wanted.
Yeah, we turned into like fucking Zoo Crew radio show.
I don't know what that is.
Hey, whoa.
Hey, everybody, look at
that. A shih tzu?
Oh, watch out for that tree with a gun. Ah. Coming down your street to find you.
I imagine a tree with a gun would be pretty easy to dodge.
Yeah.
Don't go near that fucking tree.
Right?
Problem solved.
So, I mean, the question is would you duck behind another tree, or would that tree also have a gun?
My God.
Oh, you wouldn't be able to duck behind any trees.
Just wait until he comes near me. That's a tree.
Yeah, I figured. All trees sound like Sean Connery.
Just wait till you see what I'm hiding in my branches.
Check out this hot foliage. Super great.
It'd be a lot easier in winter because the leaves would be gone.
Yeah, you could just see the arsenal that awaits you.
Yeah.
Just hanging up in the branches.
Jesus Christ, the future's terrible. Who's arming these trees is the question.
Exactly, right? They're just whittling it out of their own dead branches.
Would the tree be considered armed or would it be considered branched?
What? What the hell have you been doing?
I've been playing a bunch of games.
Oh,
through
no.
Humble Bundle. We're gonna go ahead and start kissing Humble Bundles. Lovely little tush right now.
Beautiful, beautiful, glowing, bundly ass.
Because they sent us a code for a game to try out.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I've been playing that. I got like maybe 4 or 5 hours into it.
Okay,
It's called Overgrowth, which apparently the game's been out for like years now.
okay.
It's an ultra realistic physics fighting game
Okay.
based off of sort of kung fu, where you play anthropomorphic rabbits.
Okay.
And so you have your attack button, you have your block button, but your attack, and it's just left click on the mouse for attack, right click for block.
Right.
But it's all based on where you're moving and where the other person is. So just when you hit the attack button, it's not just like you stab, stab, stab.
Yeah.
If you're moving, whatever direction you're moving in, you're going to slice that way.
Okay.
Then if the person you're fighting is moving a different way, you attack in a different way too. I'm not describing it very well, but it's all physics based.
Okay, so what you're saying is if somebody's coming at you and they start to strafe to one side, in order for you to get a strike in, you have to strafe to the same side that they are?
Right.
Okay.
Like if somebody's coming at me and they're fighting with, say, a spear, because there's a shit ton of different weapons.
Okay.
They're fighting with a spear and I've got like a scimitar. They're coming at me and I kind of strafe to the side and they're going to stab me. As I move, I'm going to do like a downward swing at their arm.
Okay.
And then if they see this and block and move the mouse up the same direction I am, they'll raise the spear to block it.
Okay.
So it's super duper in depth.
Oh,
Like
wow.
I was playing and you can run up walls and jump off of walls and stuff because you're a rabbit.
Yeah.
I was jumping between 2 walls and I jumped off one wall and landed at the other wall. It was too close for me to like flip around.
Yeah.
And I just ran into the wall and snapped my neck and died.
Oh, my God.
Like that's how realistic it is.
Wow.
Yeah. So they added in a story. I was playing through the campaign with my daughter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool.
Neat.
Yeah.
That is cool.
It's fun. I think we should try it sometime because there's local co-op.
Oh, yeah. That would be awesome.
Yeah, so we can just both load up and we can plug in controllers. So you can plug in like a 360 or whatever controller through Steam
Yeah.
and we can play it that way.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a burp there.
Had a little burp there,
Yeah,
sneaking
we
up,
could-
sneaking up behind you.
And then the other one I played, I want to write an article on this game. This game fucked me up, like legitimately fucked me up after I played it.
Like, in what sense?
In the sense that it was super duper dark and I thought I was okay with it until that night when I fell asleep and had like really bad dreams and legitimately had to like take a Xanax because it caused like a sort of crisis in my brain thinking about it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And I'm not one to get triggered by stuff. I can typically separate whenever I have anxiety, which I've had a lot of in the past couple weeks.
Right.
It's because I get stuck in my own sort of circular thoughts.
Right.
Outside stimuli like this doesn't really affect me, but
Yeah.
it totally did.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like
That's
I said,
pretty
I'm-
intense.
It was fucking intense. And the game is called Doki Doki Literature Club, and it's free. So if you have Steam, you can go and download this game for free.
Okay.
And are you familiar with visual novels?
Kind of vaguely. I've never played one myself, but I know kind of the premise.
They're typically Japanese style anime, and you have cartoon characters. A lot of them are dating sims.
Yeah.
So you have like a stock image or a still drawing of an image, and you're reading text, and then you can choose different things, and you pick your wife or pick your woman that you're interested in, and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
It's a visual novel where you are a high school student and your best friend invites you to join her literature club.
Right.
So you join the literature club with her, and there's 3 other girls there. So it's you and 4 girls.
Okay.
And you write poetry to the girls to try to find which girl you are interested in the most. And then they let you read the poems that they have written.
Okay.
And that's like when it starts to get dark because all of their poems are very, very dark because they're teenage girls and they're dealing with depression and suicidal thoughts. And so it starts getting dark. And then I don't want to spoil it anymore because the game is great when you go in blind. So if you're interested at all, go in blind and play it and be ready because it gets fucking crazy.
Okay.
It sounds dumb, and the first like 2 or 3 hours, it's a slow burn. The first 2 or 3 hours literally are you just flirting with high school girls and writing poems for them.
Okay.
And then it hits a point about 3.5 hours in where it just goes off the fucking rails in the next like 3 hours. Because it's about a 6-hour game.
Yeah.
The next 3 hours is just fucking crazy.
Oh, wow.
When you start the game, it warns you right off the bat. It's like, if you suffer from depression or anxiety, probably don't play this game because this will be triggering to both of those things.
Wow.
And it was.
So are you still going to write a review on it then?
Yeah. I'm going to write a review, and I'm probably going to do spoilery reviews. I'm going to write a basic and then do a bunch of spaces and all caps like spoilers. Don't read this unless you played it or you don't care to play it.
I'll show you how to actually put a spoiler in. Like, you can do a little clickable link that's reveals a spoiler.
Okay.
In the articles. There's a way to hide it.
Okay.
But, that sounds really nutso.
Yeah, I can tell you about it after we're done recording.
Okay.
Where it goes off the rails. Because it goes in a way that you wouldn't expect at all.
I'm not even going to hypothesize. I
Yeah.
could get pretty dark, so.
It probably is darker than what you think.
Fair enough.
I read reviews. I went to the Steam page to download it, right? And
Right.
the Steam page says in multiple places, this game is not for children. This game is very dark. This is an adult game.
Yeah.
And then I started to read some of the reviews, and people were like, I don't know why I played this game. It was way darker than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
They were not kidding about this warning. So I start playing it, and I'm like 2 hours in, and like I said, I'm literally just fucking writing poetry for girls.
Right.
So I kind of get in my head that it's this hilarious internet joke where it's the internet has collectively decided that this super innocent, innocuous game, they've all just decided to joke that it's this super dark thing.
Right.
But that's not the case. It's not the case at all. So Doki Doki Literature Club. Check it out. It's free and it's fucked up.
Okie dokie. Doki dokie.
Doki Okie.
Doki
So what
Okie.
about you, Remington? What have you been up to?
I've been fiddling with things. I got some new stuffs. I got a little Genovation control pad. It's a 24-key programmable keyboard.
Yeah. Does it light up?
No, it doesn't. It's a real simple thing. They've been around. Genovation has been around making like specialty keyboards and stuff for what seems like forever.
It looks like it would be on the chest of Darth Vader.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does.
It looks super futuristic, but futuristic in a retro 70s way.
Exactly. And that's probably where they got Vader's little keypad. It was probably a Genovation keypad. So the reason why I picked it up is I've had it in my wish list for a long time now.
Uh-huh.
And I thought it would be cool to be able to use that to macro out certain things, like when we actually do an OBS live stream or when we're doing something like that where I can just have keys to click and do keybinds to change different scenes and do that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Be able to launch a soundboard, all of that sort of thing. There was one left in stock, and it was the lowest price that I had seen it at so far. And I said, fuck it, I'm buying it.
I got to do it.
I got to do it. It's telling me that I got to do it, so let's make it happen. So that's what I did, and I spent quite a bit of time last night fiddling with that. Really, I've just been doing little tiny things in the background for our website and researching, going back and refreshing my brain on apparently not talking.
Yeah, I know. I'm having a hard time talking
I know.
too.
Yeah.
I think it's weird now because I'm in studio this week.
Yeah. It's peculiar to be able to look at you
Oh,
and smell you, miss your taste.
I don't know. I wouldn't be able to smell because my nose is so stuffed up from all of this fucking animal hair everywhere.
Welcome to my hell.
Yeah. Like, I know I was talking about it off air, but this chair is just fucking covered in cat hair.
Yep.
It's not an exaggeration. It is covered in cat hair.
Yep.
And I'm highly allergic to cats.
Yep. Good stuff.
Yeah.
It's real fun.
Great podcast.
A lot of times to have. But
What's this thing you're working on right there? It's like a bunch of wooden picture frames with like cloth pictures.
yeah, so
Cloth
these
prints?
are basically I'm making canvas frames for these canvas prints that I've had for a long time. and I had finally got around to cutting down the pallet that I had out in the garage and slicing up the boards and making myself some canvas frames, and I'm going to stretch it across and get them stapled down. And it's like a single print that's cut up over multiple frames. So it's like real long one, two slightly shorter ones, two slightly shorter ones, and they kind of branch out across. Do you kind of know what I'm talking about? Okay. So yeah, and it's World of Warcraft.
God.
Yeah.
Fucking nerd.
I know, right?
Have you played World of Warcraft in a while?
No, I haven't. I spend all my time working on this stuff anymore.
This was the one time I was interested in actually talking about World of Warcraft too.
Yeah, we haven't even bought our BlizzCon virtual tickets yet.
When is BlizzCon?
November 3rd and 4th, I think, if I remember right. Yeah, haven't even bought our BlizzCon tickets yet.
Are you guys still going to sit down and watch it though?
Oh yeah, I'm sure, but we definitely need to do that. So,
how much are those tickets? I know you've talked about it before.
I don't even know. I don't even know at the moment.
Are they?
I just know that we'll get them.
$15 or
No,
$80?
No, because they'll mail you a goodie bag too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I mean it's a pretty good deal. I think it's like $60.
Oh, okay, that's not.
Yeah.
And you get access to like everything streamed, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's really cool. I mean, I'm still looking forward to it. We just haven't got it yet. Yeah. Let's see here. We talked about the tick last week.
Yeah.
I wanted to do a quick follow-up.
Okay.
About the Weinstein, more over the Rose McGowan thing. It turns out that we talked about her Twitter being banned for like 24 hours, I think it was.
And if I remember, we weren't 100% sure why, outside of her maybe being overly confrontational, I guess.
Yeah. But it turns out apparently that she had posted a screenshot of something that listed someone's email.
Oh, okay.
Was the reason that she beat or broke the terms of service, is that she shared out a personal email that she shouldn't have.
So she unintentionally doxed somebody.
Exactly.
Kind of.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a valid reason to suspend somebody's account. Sorry.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean, that's one of those basic things that you don't do. If you're going to stir the internet shit pot, no matter how, actually important it is to do so, in this particular instance,
yeah,
you still got to be wary about what you put out.
Well, and I read, speaking of the Weinstein thing, that Kevin Smith, the director, has said that any money he makes from the Weinstein Company going forward, he's going to donate to it's not a charity, but it's a group that gives money to women filmmakers.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so any money that he's going to make going forward from this, any residuals he makes off of anything through the Weinstein Company, he's going to donate also.
Oh, wow.
And if the Weinstein Company ever goes under, he's promised that he's going to pledge $2,000 a month for the rest of his life.
Wow. That's really cool of him. I don't think he has to worry about the Weinstein Company going under, because Harvey was not the only Weinstein that was involved in it.
Yeah.
So
if anything else, they can just rebrand.
Yeah.
The Weinstein name is going to be a little tainted for a while.
Yeah, that's true. It very well could be. Or maybe just Harvey's will be. Maybe you can't be called Harvey anymore.
You just it's like
your
Hitler.
name will be synonymous with
Snarvy. In the future, all Harveys are Snarvies. What? I really think we got something here. I really think I have something here.
Yes.
I'm going to go ahead and trademark that brand in full.
Yeah, you go ahead and keep that, buddy.
2017.
2019.
Or 2019. What?
Go back to the past and copyright it for the future.
Got to go back to the past. Samurai Jack.
Yes.
So, Remington.
Yeah.
Do you like Pokemon?
No.
Well, never mind then. Forget it.
Okay. Good podcast.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you.
Ogres, keep your Pokemon wet.
So what's up with Pokemon?
Have you heard of Detective Pikachu?
Maybe.
There's a Pokemon game that Japan released beginning of 2016, I think, called Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
And they're making a movie out of it.
Okay.
that is going to start filming January of 2018.
Okay.
The plot of the movie is that a young boy, he lives in the world of Pokemon. So there's just, you assume, okay, there's Pokemon.
Right.
He meets a Pikachu who can talk, who's not as powerful as the other Pikachus, but he's a good detective.
Okay.
So they travel around solving Poke mysteries together.
Okay.
And they're doing a motion picture about this.
Is it live action?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. But the Pikachu's going to be CG.
Well, obviously.
They're not, they didn't cast a real Pikachu yet.
Are you sure?
80%.
Okay.
But the Pikachu wears a Sherlock Holmes hat.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
Here's the thing that gets me. They are doing, it's obviously Japanese release, and then they're doing the American voices for it.
Right.
There's an alleged list of people that they're trying to pull from to voice Pikachu. The list is Ryan Reynolds,
Okay.
Hugh Jackman, Mark Wahlberg, or The Rock.
What? Why? Also, I'm going to throw my hat in the ring for Marky Mark.
You want Marky Mark to voice Pikachu?
Yeah. Yes, I do. I want him to do it.
The movie's going to be directed by Rob Letterman, who directed the movie Goosebumps and a bunch of other movies.
Okay.
Which the movie Goosebumps was directed very well, so I'm cool with that. It's also written by Nicole Perlman, who's a writer for Marvel,
Okay.
and Alex Hirsch, the creator of Gravity Falls.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm down. I can get behind that. A deer stalker is what those Sherlock Holmes hats are called, just so you know.
Why is it called a deer stalker?
Probably because you use it to stalk deers.
So they can't see you, or
Well, not really. It's
they just
to-
assume there's a detective following them?
No. It's just to denote that, you know, if you as a deer see somebody wearing a deer stalker hat, you know that you have a stalker.
So
And you can report them to the police. It's a legal thing.
did the deer create them?
Yes.
Okay. So the deer created the deer stalker hats and then put them out into the marketplace saying,
These
hey,
are
these are the hats you wear to stalk deer, so now the deer know.
Well, no. It was a really subversive campaign because the deer government and the regular government are two very different things.
Okay.
So they released these hats and targeted them toward deer stalkers.
The deer government.
Yes.
Okay.
They have a really good fashion campaign in the deer legislation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they released these hats subversively in order to let hunters and other deer stalkers, detectives as well. I don't know why the detectives were just kind of a happy accident.
Well, detective, isn't that Latin for deer detective? It's like an Ouroboros of words. The more you try to break it down, the more it just goes back to point one.
Yes. Yeah. So anyway, that was stupid. I'm sorry.
Is there anything, can we work with deer detective? Is that
Yes.
possible?
Yeah. We need to Brandon,
Yeah.
next shirt idea.
Deer detective?
Deer detective. Make it happen.
What is it?
You've already drawn one deer for me. You can draw another. The deer in the headlight?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That was a pretty good deer, too.
It was a really good deer.
Took
I was
me a while,
impressed.
but
yeah.
it was a pretty good
It
deer.
was nice. I liked it. I enjoyed inking it too. I had to make the truck around it.
Yeah.
My truck was not so good.
So anyway, Detective Pikachu filming 2018. Marky Mark.
Yay!
It looks insane. It looks like a really stupid thing. You can go online and watch. They released a trailer for the game in 2016.
Yeah.
And what started this whole thing is people redubbed Pikachu with Danny DeVito's voice with quotes from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. So
Yeah.
you have like the kid with Pikachu coming up and like seeing Pikachu, and then Pikachu with the detective hat on, like looking at the kid and going like Pika Pika. But they replaced it with Danny DeVito, so now Pikachu looks at the little boy and goes, "Your mother's a whore."
So wait, why are they not just having Danny DeVito do it?
There's a fan campaign to get them to just cast Danny DeVito. as
Goddamn
Pikachu,
right there
which
is.
I think would be pretty great. You couldn't have Pikachu telling the kid his mom's a whore.
Well, no.
But in a perfect world, you 100% could. God, just like a film noir detective Pikachu smoking a fucking cigar, black and white.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty great.
Yeah. I could get behind that artsy fartsy bullshit.
I think that Nintendo would never do it, but I think we need to see an adult Pokemon.
Like a sexy Pokemon?
No. I mean, maybe, but just like a one-off.
That exists, Brandon.
Oh, really?
Don't play coy. I've seen your hard drive.
Really? Weird.
What? Future Brandon went to jail for all of his adult
In the year 2019,
adult Pokemons on his hard drive.
Brandon's arrested for fucking a Mr. Mime. What? You have to tell me if you're caught, Mr. Mime.
I'm not able to with hand gestures.
Yeah. Oh, he's doing some hand stuff.
Uh-huh. I bet he is.
All right, so what do you got, Ren? You want to go with the story next?
Yeah, well,
get
since
off
we're
the topic of Mr. Mime jerking me off.
since we're talking about movies, I figure we can
light screen.
Oh,
Bam,
jeez.
bam.
Oh, these Pokemon jokes are doing nothing for me.
Super effective.
Except giving me an erection.
Bam, bam.
God.
All right, I'm done. I promise.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
That.
Mr. Mime's psychic. How did he not see this coming? Pow. Shit. Okay. All right, I'm going way too far.
Black.
Just like with the Mr. Mime, I'm going way too far.
Black Panther
Yeah, trailer.
trailer.
What'd you think?
Came
of it?
out.
You said we watched it before we started recording, and you
We
said
did.
it had a weird vibe.
Yeah,
to
it was. Do you remember where he's actually from? I can't.
Wakanda.
Wakanda. So his Wakandan kingdom, I guess you could say.
He rules all of Wakanda.
Okay. But his little kingdom seems like it's like super, super, super tech advanced. Like alien style tech advanced.
From what I understand of Wakanda, which I don't know a whole lot about Black Panther. So if
Right, neither do I.
if you're a comic nerd and you're listening to this, I'm going to get some shit wrong. Please correct me, but don't correct me that much.
No, correct him all. Just tell him how beautiful he is
Yeah.
at the end of whatever you say. Like, chew him out real good, but then tell him he's pretty.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Wakanda's just an advanced society.
Okay.
They're the only place you can get vibranium. Which
Right,
is what Captain America's shield's made out of.
Right. And also, isn't it infused in the Black Panther suit or something like that?
I think so, yeah. In his claws or some shit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's just got some, made up special metals. Okay.
The trailer I thought looked cool, but you said that there was like a weird feeling to it. Was it the alien technology?
Well, I mean, that's the only thing that was just odd to me is that how far advanced the that little kingdom seemed to be. Mm-hmm. I mean, even the writing and stuff on the signs in the background looked like an alien script.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't think that it's a bad thing or that it detracts from the movie. It was just, it seemed out of place to me. And that probably boils down to when you think of Africa, you don't tend to think technologically advanced.
Yeah.
So
Wakanda's like a super, super rich kingdom, though.
yeah, it's just like
Because they're the only place that has vibranium.
yeah, it's just like Mumbai. I mean, when you think of like being out in the middle of a desert, you don't think of having this giant shining city, jeweled city out in
Yeah.
the middle of the desert. Although the fog that comes in, I was watching the Weather Channel last night. There just happened to be a little expose on just weird weather patterns. And, in the desert, when the sun goes down, the temperature plummets.
Yeah.
So occasionally what can happen is, and I know I'm getting off topic, but I'll come back to Black Panther.
You're
here in a
fine.
minute.
I'm not. I'm looking something up in relation to Black Panther. I
Yeah,
don't want you to think
okay.
I'm just ignoring you.
Cool. But the temperature will plummet, and it doesn't happen super often, but it can cause a massive fog bank to build up in between the buildings when the sun comes back up. Because all of that cold has condensed down at the bottom where it would usually take some time to cool down after the sun goes down. But since it happens so quickly in the desert, the ground will cool down a lot and there will be this band of warm air above, whereas usually the higher you go, it gets colder. So it'll cause all the water droplets to condense into clouds down at the very bottom, and you can't see your hand in front of your face.
Yeah.
There was a couple years back, there was like a 230 car pileup where like I think like 350 people were injured and like 12 died or something like that because of this fog thing. And that's why I said it doesn't happen very often, because they don't know how to drive in it.
Yeah.
They just
So this
cross
is
your fingers and kiss your ass goodbye.
this is new. This is a new phenomenon.
No. It's
Like
something.
in this area.
No, it's something that happens on occasion, just not very often.
Okay.
So it's just a weird weather phenomenon. But anyway, going back to Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman coming back as T'Challa. We have what looks to be one of the antagonists, Michael B. Jordan.
It's playing Eric Killmonger, right?
Yep. And he was Johnny Storm
Yeah.
in the remake of the Fantastic Four that didn't do so hot.
The idea, apparently, with the movie is that Eric Killmonger is an exiled member of Wakanda who is coming back to try to usurp the throne.
I gotcha. Okay.
So
She snored.
we have a dog here at our feet that's
Yeah.
let out
I don't
this
know if
one
it picked
lone
up or
snore.
not. Yeah. And that's the other, that was one of the other things, is that looking at when he's coming out of the ship, like he just arrives and he has all the royal guards, and it's all very crazy elaborate.
Yeah.
It's very weird to me. So
I think
even
he's
the
like-
architecture looks alien.
I really feel like the leader of Wakanda and the country are like the richest place in the Marvel universe.
Yeah. Super fancy.
Yeah.
Super fancy.
So Michael B. Jordan also has his own Black Panther suit.
Yes. We saw that. And I mean, is there any reason why he does? Because I thought the Black Panther, well, he has his own suit. It's probably not the Black Panther. It's called something else.
It's like gold and it's styled after a jaguar.
right.
But past that, I don't know. And I'm afraid now to venture too far into guessing with comics
Yeah, right.
because we know very little about this.
That's true. Jordan, you can chime in and tell us all about Black Panther.
Yeah,
I'm sure
do
you
our
know
job
all of
for
the
us.
things.
Just go ahead and send us an audio here of yourself talking about Black Panther and we'll cut it in.
Yeah. I mean, we should just start thinking ahead about these sorts of things and maybe actually call them up and be like, hey, tell us about this.
Yeah.
We also have Andy Serkis playing Ulysses Claw. So Andy Serkis being in an actual role instead of just being voiceover,
Yeah.
which is cool.
And he was in the Avengers movie, was the last role he was in as this character.
Oh, was he? Okay. I haven't seen it yet.
What?
I know. I'm really behind on a lot of my Marvel movies.
So we went and saw it together in theaters. The Captain America Avengers movie.
Oh, wait. Wait, was he?
Yeah.
Do I just straight up not remember him?
He had a very, very minor part.
Okay.
He was like pretty much locked up in an office the whole time talking about vibranium. It was, the Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
He captured Andy Serkis and was asking him, like, where do I get this stuff from?
Okay.
Andy Serkis, I think he had an escape at the end, but yeah, he's maybe in 5 minutes of it. He has his beard is way smaller, and he's just in there talking like, you got to get it from Wakanda. I don't think that's
Yeah.
what he sounds like. But
No, it's not, but that's okay. As a voiceover artist, we have to make our voices known.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm throwing my hat in the ring for Detective Pikachu, too. Fuck it.
Yeah.
No, it's another poke crime.
I like it.
Yeah. It's a different take on it.
Yeah.
Pika.
It's kind of like Batman, but only Pikachu-y.
Pika, yeah.
Where are the drugs going? So you had one more movie thing, right?
Oh, yeah. I want to talk about that closer to the end, though.
But that's in the future, Brandon.
What? See, it's fucking catchy. It's catching on already. It's become one person that did it, has become two people.
Yeah. I mean, I'm doing it
100%
ironically.
200% growth.
I'm doing it ironically.
But you're still doing it.
Exactly, right? That is a phrase that I have come to hate.
Ironically?
Yeah, doing something ironically. Because if you continue to do said thing ironically, then at that point you're just doing the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's no longer ironic. You're just,
Are you talking about,
sucker.
like, using dumb words ironically?
yes.
Like, whenever for a while at the end of our episodes you would say smash that like button and then dab at me?
Yes.
You were
was a
doing
good
it
dab.
ironically.
Yes.
But then you just kept doing it.
Well,
So it's not, then you were just dabbing.
I would say that would still fall into the category of ironic because I don't do that anymore. Like, it was, maybe 3 or 4 episodes that I did it.
Yeah.
And
you
that
did
was
it a lot. And you were dabbing completely incorrectly, too.
Yeah, I know.
You were just like doing this.
I know. That's the whole point. Also, I'm fat. It's hard to move that way. We've got a microphone in my way. There it is. I'm like we're just dabbing on a podcast.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
great, guys. Let me tell you. You
It's
can't
the-
see it, but
It's the best thing you've ever seen.
yeah.
Big fat guy and some nerdy guy with glasses just fucking dabbing away
Yeah, I'd say give us 5 stars because that's pretty much.
in a room by themselves.
We're really just
With a-
dabbing at each other.
With a dog. Dog's dabbing too. Dabbing in her dreams.
Dream dab.
Dream dabs.
God, this podcast is shit. Huh?
We're fucking garbage,
This is real
people.
garbage.
Oh.
So let's go into some space news.
Okay.
You want to hop in this verbal rocket ship and take a trip to the stars?
Yeah, we can do that.
Google Maps
Yeah.
recently added 3 planets and 9 moons that you can just go visit and scroll around on their surface.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a
So we have-
collaboration between pictures from the Cassini satellite
Yeah.
and a astronomical artist named Bjorn Johnson
Bjorn.
working together.
Sweet. So now we have a whole new slew of potential conspiracy theories that NASA is keeping fucking aliens from us. The publics.
Why? How does it feed the conspiracy theory there?
Well, there's a whole fucking section of people out there that think that we already have moon bases and or that we never landed on the moon.
Yeah.
There's 2 different camps.
Those are crazy camps, right?
Yeah.
Because typically when you have 2 ends of the spectrum, a lot of times it meets somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
We never went to the moon. We have spacecraft. We have fucking bases and farms on the moon.
Yeah.
The middle part is like, no, we went to the moon a couple times.
Yeah. And we don't have
just-
a base up there yet, but
just
we're
kinda-
working on it.
Are we even working on it?
Yes. In fact, I have a follow-up story that'll tie right into this.
Really?
I do.
Well, finish up here real quick. You can go on Google Maps and look, and it's really cool because they've actually tagged on the planets certain specific things. So once you go
nice.
to a planet, you can rotate the full thing in 3D in whatever direction you want.
Right.
And you're scrolling around, and there will be like where they've named certain things. So like XYZ Trench. Pretty much everything's named after, much like the planets, everything's named after gods from different
Right.
cultures.
Right.
You can do that. You can do the moon. You can do Mars, Saturn. A lot of the planets and a shit ton of moons for the
Yeah.
planets.
Yeah.
And then also, they did a Google Street View, and this, I guess, is older, but I'd never heard of it before. They did a Google Street View of the International Space Station.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can go up to the International Space Station and just click around like you're in there and like move the camera in full 3D.
Huh. That's cool.
I think you'd enjoy it, Rem, actually. You should
Yeah.
check it out.
I will.
There's fucking wires everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I would assume they would be behind panels or something.
Yeah.
I don't know how that goddamn thing isn't falling out of the sky constantly. Like, half these wires have to not be important because there's just wire. You see, like, they have a kitchenette area where
Right.
everything's, like, duct taped down. They have a giant bottle of sriracha sauce. And then, like, a little, looks like maybe a convection stove or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, just fucking wires
I mean,
sticking out of everywhere.
Technically speaking, they are constantly falling out of the sky.
Is orbiting
Yeah.
falling?
Yes. Yeah.
Fair enough.
You're far enough up that and you get fast enough that you're just constantly falling toward the Earth, but missing it.
All right, you got me on a technicality. I hope
did.
You're proud of yourself.
I am. I'm super proud of
So-
how SMRT I am.
It's worth checking out, but it's not as cool as a space station. But it's not as cool as a space station on the moon would be. If only there was some news about space stations on the moon.
Well, Brandon, I've got some good news for you. Scientists from Purdue University and JAXA, which is like the Japanese space.
Oh yeah, we've talked about JAPSA before.
JAXA. JAXA.
Okay, that was a legitimate mistake. That was not a goof.
A goof or a gaff.
JAXA.
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 JAXA. Anyway. Only leaving it in because it was a because it was an actual goof.
Yeah.
Although I did cut out the part where Brandon made a terribly racist Asian voice.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a true boner.
Anyway, using data that they've collected over the years, they have found a perfect little hole for us to build a base in.
Okay.
One of the reasons why we don't really have a moon base is because of the radiation that's coming from the sun and space in general.
It doesn't have an atmosphere, right?
That's right. So there's nothing to block all of those. I mean, in the instance of a solar flare that hits the moon, you would fry. You'd literally fry. So they know that there are lava tubes. They know that at one point in the moon's life, it was like molten, of course. If we are to believe some theories, it might have been another planet that collided with the Earth at one point, and that was just what was left over and coalesced into the moon.
Yeah.
So at some point during the creation of our solar system, the moon was hot, and it had molten rock on it. And as is the case of anything that cools down once that seals up, you have lava tubes. So they have potentially found a place that has a deep hole where we could sneak in there into a lava tube and protect themselves from the radiation that will come inevitably from the sun.
Okay, so the picture that's on your screen right now, is that showing like going down into a hole inside the moon? So they're saying going down into like a hollowed out cave. Is the white part underneath and like the brown or the blue part is supposed to be the land?
Yeah, this is...
So they're saying you could build your base, you would go through the lava tubes, and you would basically be burrowed underground to protect yourself from the solar flares and stuff?
Exactly, right.
Okay.
So you'd be under all of this solid igneous rock and be able to protect your base from all of the hazards of space.
Would you visit a moon base?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You would, like, if it was secured, how safe would the moon base have to be for you to visit it?
I wouldn't even have to be that safe, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, the chance to go to the moon and just hang out on a moon base, I'd be down.
Would you at least not have to wear a spacesuit the whole time you were there before you'd want to visit? I feel like that would be the kicker for me. I'd want to be able to get out of my spacesuit.
I mean, I think that if there were a base there, then at that point you wouldn't have to be in a spacesuit. You know, if there is an actual base, then you're probably not going to have to be in a spacesuit. It's just like the going back to the International Space Station. They're not in spacesuits the whole time that they're up there.
Yeah.
They have their own little pajama party that they have.
They're playing mystery date and giggling about boys.
Yeah, hitting themselves with pillows that don't have feathers in them because it would get into the instruments.
All the fucking wires that are just sticking out.
Yeah. So the region is on the near side of the moon, and it's called the Marius Hills. That's the place that they think has the best chance for these lava tubes. It's very pitted. It kind of looks akin to when you're cooking a pancake and it bubbles up on the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. So kind of looks like that.
Okay.
That's an interesting way to look at it. This article is the one where I got that from, sciencealert.com. But it's something that scientists have theorized for a long time anyway, and it's probably the best way to protect yourself in space is finding a place that has lava tubes. And if they could do something like that and make that science work here closer to home, then there's no reason why we couldn't get to Mars and do something similar, because we know Mars was active.
Yeah.
Now, Mars was very Earth-like at one point in its life, but because of its lack of core movement, it eventually lost its momentum and died off.
I like that idea. I like the idea of having a base underneath the moon.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And not only that, I mean, not only if they make that science work, that just means that puts the Mars travel into a much more probable state, but also it gives us a launching point. We now have a moon base where not only is it, I mean, there are a ton of resources, like hydrogen 3 is a huge thing that's in the soil on the moon. And it's very, you can use hydrogen as a fuel.
Okay.
So it's all over the place in the moon.
You could use it as a jumping off point. Then.
Exactly. So the moon would very much become a space station.
And there's
That's
got to
no
be
moon.
There's got to be a lot of resources there that we don't know about, right?
Oh, sure.
Like once we get into the surface, like holy shit, it's rich with iron.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's what Mars is. That's why it's red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's a lot of iron-rich soil. It's rust.
I wonder. I mean, they have to be able, just from the samples that they took when they were on the moon, have a general idea of what it's made up.
Oh, yeah. They do.
Right?
Yeah. And there's still continuous experimenting with it. Like, I think I heard at one point that they were basically squeezing water from rocks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where just little tiny microscopic water droplets or whatever in the soil or something like that. I don't remember now. It's been a long time. But yeah, all really interesting science. I mean, it would be nice within the next 10 years to have a moon base.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't think that they actually talk about when this could happen. This is all still pretty much speculation, it seems like. But I think if we actually see a moon base come to fruition, it's going to be through privatized space travel.
Yeah, well, NASA's budget's just like nothing now.
Yeah. And it's such a weird thing. As I've seen some shows recently, like, oh crap, now I don't remember what that show was. It was on Sci-Fi for a hot minute, and it was about a girl who comes back from the future to catch some bad guys that escaped. It was like a terrorist organization, but the future was all very corporatized.
Okay.
Like there was
So every sci-fi story ever?
yes,
pretty much?
yeah, yeah. So corporations had completely taken over, and it's an interesting thing to have people like Elon Musk out there who seem to be very involved in preservation of the world or pushing new technologies, but making them available to everybody.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But at the same time, like, how do you keep your millions, Or your billions?
You gotta find a way to make money off of it.
Yeah, exactly. So having these privatized places doing space travel now is something that's really interesting. I hope that I live long enough to see what comes from that, whether it be good or evil.
I think you will.
Yeah.
It seems like we're kind of
I really like cheeseburgers, though.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you might need to cut the cheeseburger factor down by about 5%.
Nope.
Well, get on it, Elon, because it's a race against Rim's heart and cheeseburger
That's right.
ratio. Oh, I should probably hurry then.
Yep.
He's British, right?
I don't know.
Oh, Elon Musk.
I don't know what he is.
I'll shoot shit into space.
Yes.
I'll load all the cheeseburgers into a rocket and shoot them into space, Rim.
Well, that'll make
That'll get you up there.
Yeah, that'll get me up there. That's a lot of work because you have to take all the rest of the cows out too.
Just, I don't get why
Massive famine.
we have continued to cut the budget to NASA continuously every year. NASA's just, the budget to NASA from the government has been so fucking gutted.
Mm-hmm.
And then the money goes to like, probably not a super popular opinion with some of the listeners, but we don't need to continue to raise the military's budget every goddamn year.
Yeah.
The military, we have some of our top military generals have come out and said, you are giving us more money than we need. We don't need this much money. Put it somewhere else.
Yeah.
But it's an easy talking point for re-election, and it's an easy talking point for parties, both left and right, because they're both guilty of it, to be like, oh shit, we're not liked. We're upping the military budget more. We're giving more to the military.
Yeah.
Military does not need as much money as the military gets so much goddamn money from us. You could peel off 5% of the military budget and give it to NASA, and NASA could do so much more.
Yeah. And, not to kind of cut into NASA there, but at the same time, we could also take that budget that we're actually putting into current military and give it to, the people who have served and who are struggling now and trying to get on these other programs where they're dealing with their PTSD or they're dealing with other health issues that were caused from the
Oh,
military.
you're going to make me look like an asshole now.
Well, I mean, no, but that's just it. That budget for the military is so high that we could easily split off 5% and give 2.5% to the veterans and 2.5% to NASA, and it would still make a huge difference.
Yeah, well, even saying, hey, here's the military's budget. Military, you are now partially in charge, too, of paying for benefits of people who are out of the military.
Yeah.
And not just your bare minimum bullshit that you're giving them now.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, if the military used part of their budget and said, hey, and I know so little about how this stuff actually works.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm sure there's a lot more.
Yeah, there's
blah, 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 whatever.
We'll preface this with the fact that we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, although that should be clear to any of our listeners at this point.
Yeah, right?
Why they wouldn't just say, okay, 10% of our budget, because we don't need it, we'll just put it into this.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's moon base on the moon. Moon base.
Love it.
Lunar base. I like it. Speaking of more space news.
Okay, let's just cram space right into you.
Yeah, only we're going to transition a little bit, Brandon. I'm going to take you down to a more science fiction road and talk for a brief minute about Destiny 2.
Okay.
So, very, very recently, like just yesterday, Destiny 2 had its first prestige raid. I don't really know what it is. I haven't played Destiny 2.
It's like the high level raids.
Is it? Okay.
I don't really know what the comparison would be in WoW, but it's like doing a WoW raid at the highest difficulty.
Heroic level raids then.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Sure.
they had their first raid, it was televised, quote unquote televised. It was, streamed out and everybody was watching certain teams doing their things. And we had a winner, which was awesome.
Yeah.
Right up until there was a little bit of controversy where it seems like this team used a glitch.
Yeah, it's called the coil-glitch.
Yes. So apparently, basically, what it is infinitely fast to reload ammo.
You just reload immediately.
Yeah. It's just like boom, boom, you're automatically reloaded. There's no time in between.
And they beat the next team. They won by 4 minutes.
Right.
So the next team that, quote, should have been in first place because they didn't use the glitch, lost by only 4 minutes, which I'm sure you could argue that 4 minutes could have been made up by cumulative reloading between the teams.
Right. So that's definitely something that could theoretically happen. I think if somebody, or at least the community, were astute enough to crunch the numbers, you could probably see whether or not that 4 minutes is a viable argument.
Yeah.
I think that could be something that could easily be done. You just take the number of people that were involved in the raid, and, we don't exactly know who was coil glitching.
Well, I know there was the reason they knew it happened was because you hear one of the teammates
you hear
on the Twitch stream say, I'm coil glitching.
Yeah, you hear at least one of the teammates talking about coil glitching. So that could just be that one player who happened to be coil glitching. Bungie shared this out on their Twitter, said congratulations to Clan Redeem for being world first to complete the prestige raid by a margin of only 4 minutes. Good game. And the public responded, sharing the video where the kid talks about coil glitching, or the guy talks about coil glitching. Bungie responded to this. The community manager Cosmos said that we've seen the reports that an ammo exploit was used today in the prestige raid. This was not the specific exploit we were checking for, and we don't currently have a way to detect it. So tomorrow we'll release the top 3 finishers in the This Week at Bungie blog, and then you can make your own decision as to who should be celebrated. So basically they just said, it's a glitch, it happened, wasn't what we were looking for, no way for us to track it. Sometimes that shit happens, so you can pick your own damn winner.
Yeah. So what do you think? Do you think it's cheating? Do you think that they don't deserve the number 1 spot because of a glitch they used?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, if this were Blizzard, they'd probably have it pulled from them.
Really?
Yeah. If it's a known error and you intentionally use it to exploit the game. In this case, I don't know how you would be able to avoid it, though. Like, if your game happens to be coil glitching, it's not like you're going to say, hold on, everybody, let's stop the raid so I can reload my game.
Yeah. I don't know from how it was listed whether coil glitching is something you can activate yourself, though.
Yeah. And I don't know. I haven't actually listened to let's listen to the video and see how it sounds.
What? I wasn't on the plate.
I got it. Yeah.
It's one phase.
Someone got rift. Coil glitching.
I got rift on the third.
Alright, I'll get rift on 12th then.
There's my heavy break. There it is. Gonna have 6 rockets and Nova for last play it. I got barrier for last one.
Looks like I need to glitch.
And go. Get off.
Yeah, it definitely... the way it's talked, the way it's spoken, seems like it's something that they're aware of and they're using to their advantage.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's part of their strat.
Which, if I was Team 2, I would probably be up in arms. I would probably be like, especially by 4 minutes, but again, I'm kind of a sore loser and I'm a shitty person. So I could easily see myself like, of course they won. They were using a glitch. We didn't use the glitch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as an outsider and not a person who plays Destiny or really cares about this that much,
Right.
if there's a glitch in the game and you can use it, fucking use it, you know?
Yeah.
It's not cheating. You can argue that it's unsportsmanlike, and I would even say, yeah, it's unsportsmanlike if it's a race and you're using a glitch.
Yeah.
But it's in the game still.
Yeah. And I think going back to my initial thought on it is if you've got smart people out there, smart people in the community, if you were to take the average amount of time that it takes you to reload a clip versus how instantaneous a coil glitch is, or close to instantaneous it is, if you were to crunch those numbers and get that timing right, or put it up against the actual time that it on average should take to complete that fight, you'd probably get a pretty good idea as to whether or not coil glitching would be enough to shave 4 minutes. That's a lot of time in game.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, if we're being honest with ourselves, that's a
raids,
lot of time.
Some of those raids take like an hour and a half, 2 hours to do.
Exactly.
So potentially...
But but that's what I'm saying. Even in World of Warcraft, but there's a lot of stuff that can happen in 4 minutes.
It kind of makes me think of there's an example in Magic, in a Magic the Gathering tournament from years ago. There's a card, I'll try to make it quick because it's a little convoluted. There's a card you can play that's a creature that when you play it, you can look at target player's hand, pick a card, and put it in their deck or their graveyard. You do something with it, I don't remember.
Right.
But anyway, it's a major tournament. A dude plays this card. The opponent lays his hand out, lets him see it. Dude who played the card writes down every card in his opponent's hand, and then says, so this creature resolves? And the guy who laid his hand out's like, yeah, it resolves. And he's like, okay, I'm going to target myself with it. And he targeted his own hand and put a card from his hand into his library. And people were like, hold on, well, you can't just write down that dude's hand. And his argument, and Wizard stood behind him, was like, your opponent can reveal their hand anytime they want.
Yeah.
He never said, I'm targeting you. And it was a technicality. He played it. He never said targeting you. He never pointed to him. He just played it. That card 90% of the time is used to target the opponent.
Right.
So the opponent in tournament play, he's played against his deck 1,000 times.
Yeah.
He instinctively puts it out. Dude writes his hand down, which is normal to do in a tournament. You write down their hand so you know what they're playing and what they have.
Right.
And then targeted himself.
Yeah.
So people kind of gave him shit for it, understandably. But he wrote an article about it that was published on the Wizard site, and he was like, I know it's shitty. And I can even say, it's unsportsmanlike.
Yeah.
But the game allows it, and he did that. And so his whole thing was like, be more careful, you know?
Yeah, don't just assume.
And he was like, I can get why people would be pissed about it, but this was a tournament for fucking money.
Yeah.
And I didn't say I was targeting him. I'm going to take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like it's kind of that way with this glitch. Like, yeah, it's shitty. Yeah, it's unsportsmanlike, but it's in the game.
Right. So, there we go. I think, and I'm right there with you. I mean, Bungie said that it's not what they were looking for, and there's no way for them to detect it.
Yeah.
So you're kind of up shit creek without a paddle anyway. And
if you were using the glitch, I don't know if it speaks well to the team or speaks bad to the team that they're like coil glitching. Because either that means that they're like innocent, thinking like, well, hey, there's a glitch, you can use the glitch.
Yeah.
Or they're just fucking stupid.
Right.
Like, why would you continue to announce that you're coil glitching if you know it's a glitch, you know?
Yeah. Especially if you know that you're going to be on stream.
All right. So my final story. There's a movie that is potentially coming out. It's going up for sale at the American film market soon.
Okay.
It's been made, and if it's picked up, it will release in summer of 2018. So they're shopping around a distributor right now.
Okay.
The movie is about a nerd who is working on a ray on a snake, and he's trying to like give intelligence to a pet snake or something.
Okay.
And he lives in Compton, and he uses this ray, and the snake starts to grow exponentially. So anyway, it's about this giant snake that starts to attack Compton. So that's half of it, and then the other half is about this group of rappers who are trying to rise up from the streets.
Okay.
Who decide that the best way to get a label is to kill this giant snake. And I mean, this snake gets to like giant city blocks fighting jet planes style proportions.
Right, yeah.
And the movie is called Snake Outta Compton. It looks so stupid. But it got me thinking, if you can take an album title, Straight Outta Compton, and do Snake Outta Compton, it's like Sharknado. It's like Lava Lantula, or whatever that one was, about the lava tarantula.
Right.
Why don't we do our own?
Okay.
So I've got a couple ideas I just want to rapid fire at you here. And
Okay.
I took album names, and I added in stories. So if you have any questions about any of these, feel free to stop me. Otherwise, I'm going to go through them.
Okay.
You know, Licensed to Ill, the Beastie Boys album.
Right.
I have Bisons to Ill or Licensed to Pillbug.
I like Bison the Ill better.
Bisons, it's multiples.
Bisons.
See, Licensed to Pillbug, here's my idea. It is a young boy who's a scientist who accidentally transfers his brain into the brain of a pillbug on a Friday, and on Monday he's going to get his driver's license. So it's a coming of age story, but he's now a 16-year-old boy in a pillbug body.
Okay, so tell me the Bisons to Ill then.
Bisons to Ill I haven't thought of yet.
Okay. Then by default, I'm going to have to lean towards licensed to
Pillbug.
Yeah.
But Bisons to Ill, I guess maybe it would be... I just got to spitball here because we got to do these quick.
Right.
Just elevator pitch. Bisons to Ill, there is a airborne virus that turns you into a bison. The city is shut down. Everybody's getting a Bisons to Ill. No, see... They turn into bisons.
I think you got to start there, but let's move on. Yeah.
Jagged Little Pillbug.
Why the pillbug again?
Because it was Jagged Little Pill and Pillbug just worked perfectly.
Okay.
Frampton Comes Alive. This isn't about animals so much as it's Peter Frampton rises back from the grave as like kind of a Frankenstein monster. Now, I know that what you're going to say here, Peter Frampton is still alive. So we kind of have to put this one on the back burner for like, I don't know, fingers crossed 2 or 3 more years.
Well, I mean, it is 2019, so.
What?
In 2019, Peter Frampton's dead.
Shark Side of the Moon.
I'm going to cry if I'm right about that. Shark Side of the Moon?
Shark Side of the Moon.
Okay.
Yep.
I can get behind that.
My Beautiful Bark Fantasy.
See, okay, I can only partially get behind Shark Side of the Moon, but I know that there's no such thing as an actual dark side of the moon.
Well, see, what happens is it turns out that we've only been seeing one half of the moon. And then as the moon turns, finally we find a way to catch a glimpse of the other side of the moon, or the moon rotates on its own so we can see the other side of the moon. And it's a giant fucking shark. Turns out the moon's been a shark the whole time. So we have to fight the moon, which is a shark. So we find the shark side of the moon. My Beautiful Bark Fantasy, it's like 50 Shades of Grey, but for dogs. It's made for dogs. So you see dogs doing all kinds of crazy sex bondage stuff, but it's only for dogs. Humans can't watch it because you'd be a freak if you watched it.
Right, yeah.
So it's just for dogs.
Okay, gotcha.
And then my favorite... Okay, so here's what we got. We have a lovable loser, right?
Uh-huh.
We have Paul Giamatti.
Okay.
He's been a shitty guy his whole life.
Yeah.
He wants to be better, and he's trying to be a better person because he's recently found God, and he wants to get in... He wants to, when he dies, he wants to know his soul's going to a better place.
Okay.
But he can't. He just, for some reason, he cannot be a better person. Cut to, he meets a magical talking bear.
Okay.
Now, this bear kind of helps guide him on the path, like ghost style, arms behind him, teaching him, like, here's how you do it, Paul. Maybe they fall in love. I don't know. But he's teaching him how a bear would go about being a good person. The title of this movie, Rivington? Bear Way to Heaven. Because Paul Giamatti can't figure out the human way to get to heaven. So he's learning the bear way to heaven.
That might be the best tagline that I've ever heard.
Dude, I lost my notes. I had like fucking 10 more of these. These were the ones I could remember.
Oh,
I had a
geez.
lot more. So,
Never been so glad that you've lost your notes.
what do you think? What has the most legs that I can work on?
Bare Way to Heaven.
Bare Way to
I
Heaven.
mean, it seems the most fleshed out in your head anyway.
See, I feel like Licensed to Pillbug.
I mean,
Coming of age story.
I think I like the feel of it, but I don't like the title. I prefer Bisons to Ill. So if we could flesh out Bisons to Ill better.
And you don't like the idea of a plague airborne virus that turns people into bison?
No, I do like that idea. I just think it needs fleshed out more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you as listeners have any idea, we're trademarking all these, by the way.
Yeah, they're all trademarked.
But if you have any ideas on Bisons
They're
to Ill,
copywritten.
both. Fuck it, do both of them. Restricted,
Yeah.
throw an R in there too. If you want to collaborate on these and maybe make Bisons to Ill come to life, leave a message.
Yeah.
Toss us an idea of what you think the movie Bisons to Ill would be about.
Yeah.
And maybe we can shamelessly steal it from you.
Yeah, we have a new Discord, so
Yeah.
you can get in on that. You can go to the website.
You want to get into shout outs and stuff now?
Yeah, we'll do the shout outs. First, I want to shout out a little product placement. This episode of Dueling Ogres is brought to you by Humble Bundle. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So just to let everybody know.
Oh, we're doing straight up ads, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to get to dropping an ad. We've got the audibletrial.com/Dueling Ogres.
We're doing Audible now too.
Yeah, we've got Audible.
God.
So you can go to that.
We're just sucking off the tea to capitalism.
I mean, until we come out with a Patreon and people actually give money to it, that's what we got to do.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
Mostly.
mostly.
I'm going to continue to make jokes.
I had to beat Brandon into letting this idea happen. Brandon's just like, I hate ads. I hate everything. I don't want to be a capitalist pig. And I
No.
said, Brandon, and I just lightly stroked him for years until he finally acquiesced to.
Humble Bundle's what got me. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, ads are, I don't know. I'm cool with Humble Bundle because it's something I use and it's something I can get behind.
Oh, yeah,
and I
absolutely.
can legitimately say, check it out.
Yeah.
Audible, I've never used, but you've used Audible.
I've used Audible and I enjoyed it very much.
Every podcast in the entire goddamn universe uses Audible.
This is true. That's why I haven't toted it a whole lot, because I'd rather use Humble Bundle. Because, again, get a lot more use out of Humble Bundle than we do Audible. But there is a lot of great stuff, and you can get a free, I think it's 30-day trial with Audible and 2 free books.
Can't you get Viscount Terry W. Irvin II's books on
You
Audible?
can. You can get pretty much any book, really, as far as it goes, through
So
Audible.
check it out. Go
2
to-
free books.
Use Audible and get
audibletrial.com/Dueling Ogres.
audible.duelingogres
Yeah.
slash. No, I shouldn't fuck with the.
Yeah, don't fuck with the
I
link.
shouldn't cause confusion. Okay, audibletrial.com
Yep.
/Dueling Ogres.
Yes.
And then get Terry W. Irvin II's books.
Yes.
Get Thunder Wells.
Yeah.
Because he talks about us in it.
Yeah.
Does Stephen Hines, is he on there?
I don't. Well, actually, he did his own audiobook for The Rebirth Defect. So it might be up there. I haven't checked. So check.
Yeah. Do it.
Do it.
We aren't going to do all the work for you. What is this?
Yeah. I mean, fuck. You want me to type out your information too? Shit. Well, Humble Bundle for the next
Fucking browbeat them. I love it.
for the next 48 hours is offering Civilization 3 for free.
Well, by the time
for
this
a limited
comes out,
time. No, I'm gonna try and get it done, Brandon. The sooner we can get this done, the sooner I can get out of here and fucking edit this shit. Okay?
all right. Jesus
You need to calm the fuck down.
Christ.
We are friends.
Yeah, I guess.
So for 48 hours, Civilization 3 complete for free. You can also preload Destiny 2, so you can go over to Humble Bundle, buy it through them, and preload your key and be able to download it on whatever platform you're going to be using it on.
Yep.
And a huge Witcher franchise sale going on. Of course, Witcher 3 got Game of the Year.
Witcher
so they have
3
their own.
is a crazy game.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You've said that you've played it and it's a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
So,
And there's breasts in it.
and we all love,
Bear breasts, actually.
we all love breasts of bears.
I was not expecting. I was doing like a romance option the first time.
Yeah.
I've only played The Witcher 3, and there was a sex scene, and it's just a straight up sex scene. Like it's topless riding cowgirl style. Yep, there's that if you're interested in it.
Yeah.
It's one of the only places you can see boobs on the internet.
Yep. You can also get Overgrowth, which is the game that Brandon was talking about that they sent us a key for. It is available for just $21, 30% off. It started off at $30, so.
Yeah, Overgrowth was pretty cool. I will say there's some issues with it. The jumping is wonky. You have huge jumps because you're a rabbit.
Right, yeah.
The jumping's a little wonky. If you play the actual story, there's some platforming in there, and there's some issues with the platforming. Like, the game is not really made for platforming. I feel like they added in the single player just to give it more of a game feel.
Yeah.
The game really shines when you do just the deathmatch stuff.
Gotcha.
So if you think of the story as just an added bonus,
Yeah.
go in with that mindset and you'll enjoy it.
Gotcha.
If you want it as a single player game, you're going to be a little disappointed. It's
Gotcha.
beautiful, but the controls are a little wonks.
Okay. Cool.
Little Nymphadora wonks.
Yep. And thanks a lot to Humble Bundle for shooting us a key.
Yeah.
And letting us be able to play it. So.
I was playing it. I was talking to my daughter about how I got the key, and she legitimately was like, wow, you're pretty famous, huh?
Right?
Like, yeah, your dad's pretty famous.
He's real cool with all the kids nowadays. So, going back to the shout-outs, Brandon usually does the shout-outs. I'm going to do them this time, just because I have them pulled up. So we had Jordan Lowe chime in on episode 127, Any Portmanteau in the Storm.
So this was episode before last.
This
right?
was episode before last. This is episode 129 now. Jordan Lowe said, I would be very interested hearing a discussion about fan art. This is when we had talked about whether or not doing fan art and selling it at cons is something that is technically legal.
Yeah.
He said he would be less interested in the Frenching. You'll have to listen to the episode to find out what that's all about. That's been kind of a hot topic in the artist community lately, especially since conventions are getting bigger and there's more money to be made. Every artist has some set of quote-unquote rules in their head about why they think it's okay to sell prints. It's parody, or it's fair use, or it's my artistic interpretation of a licensed character, or it's not mass-produced, etc. But legally, it's all super shaky ground. And one day, the Disney lawyers are going to crush the whole scene. And then he puts a link down in there to a Bleeding Cool article about Artist Alley art theft. So
I totally did not see that.
yeah, these that's kind of the bad thing about we are very bad about going back and checking previous comments. Like if we didn't catch it on the last episode, then sometimes we don't.
Yeah.
But I thought that there were some good points that could be talked about, so I went ahead and searched a little backward. Stephen Hines chimed in and said, great episode, dudes. As for the Hellboy movie, I'm bummed that Ron Perlman got screwed out of reprising the role he was born to play, but I'll still check it out. Missy and I can't wait for the Good Omen series. The book was amazing, plus Missy thinks David T. is a hottie. YouTube is doing everything they can to self-destruct, so I hope another site replaces it. And thanks for acknowledging how young I look for my age. Remember, I drink the tears of entitled American teens to stay looking this funky fresh. Oh, I forgot to mention that I'd be on board with backing you guys on Patreon. Plus, on the topic of people selling prints of characters they don't own the rights to, I'm torn on this subject because I love to see the art, but it's also quite disheartening to be at a con selling books and merchandise of characters that I created at mainstream cons, getting passed by because people are throwing money at these people selling prints. It reminds me of when I was in a band that wrote originals and we could barely get gigs while classic rock cover bands were raking in the dough. So that's an interesting perspective.
And I've read that argument before, too, is somebody like Steven, who's there. We saw him at the Parkersburg PopCon a few weeks ago.
Right.
Who's there selling his books and his comics and things like that. And then you have a big vendor who's selling prints they've made who's making a lot more money.
Yeah.
Because they can charge, I know you and Ginger bought a couple prints.
Yeah,
and
we
charge
did.
like $10-15 for them sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, upwards.
Whereas
So,
Steven's comic books were like $2.
yeah.
But the people who are selling prints are people that I've seen at a lot of cons who seem to be doing well enough to justify continuing to go.
Right.
But yeah, they're also selling their own work. So I can see I really need to contact that guy and see if he'd be interested in getting on.
Yeah.
But I'd also have to let him know, like, hey, we want to discuss this part of it.
Yeah.
So
This
I don't
is
want him
very-
to think that he's just getting sandbagged coming on.
Right, for sure. Absolutely. On episode 128, Terry W. Irvin said, I think the episode picked up steam when Star Wars became the focus of the discussion. I tend to agree that the end where Rey reaches out to Kylo Ren is a misdirection play. where what is presented in the trailer or appears to be shown is a distortion of events, possibly even a training experience like Brandon suggested.
Yeah.
Larry commented the extended discussions of the Tick and Star Wars were probably the highlights. I don't know for sure, but they were both interesting and kept me awake on the commute. Thank you, guys, or thank you. Get your crunk on.
Did we tell us where the episode shined
I think
at some point?
I think we mentioned on a couple of different occasions that it was not a good episode.
Okay, fair enough.
So basically what they're telling us without telling us is, yeah, the episode was shit, but at least you talked about Star Wars and the
stuff
Tick.
was good. Yeah. Okay, I'll take it.
Yeah. Hey, they can't all be winners.
That's what my mom says.
Yep. Specifically to you,
There's
which is
6
weird.
of them. They can't all be winners. One of them lives in Australia. One of them's a lawyer.
One's a teacher.
And then there's he's got a podcast.
Yeah, he's got a podcast. He's got that going for him.
So that's nice.
The one has dreads.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So if you have any questions, did you have anything else? Go ahead.
Need a name. We need a name for Larry.
Need a name for Larry?
Viscount Terry brought it up that we don't have a name for Larry.
That's true. What do we want to call Larry?
I don't know. We need some sort of title. Maybe we can ask him. Larry, if you have any suggestions, or if any listeners have a suggestion for Larry.
Yep.
And if not, we'll come back. We'll reconvene next week when we record, and we'll have a nickname for him.
That's right.
We'll have not a nickname, a title.
A title. That's right. So you can gain titles.
Yes.
And in fact, that might be something that we'll do. We have a new Discord. I think I mentioned that. Mm-hmm. So if you guys want to get in on the chat, I have been holding off on getting Discord because I've never used it before. And I was watching somebody stream, and she was talking about her Discord, and I was just like, screw it. I'm gonna open up a Dueling Ogres Discord and get it out there.
I didn't know that you had interest in Discord because I use Discord pretty extensively.
Do you? Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, good. You'll have to take a look at our Discord then.
Yeah.
So if you have any questions or comments or you'd like to hear yourself on air, you can call us at 978 DU-OGRES. That's 978-386-4737. You can also reach us on Twitter at Dueling Ogres. Email us at duelingogres@gmail.com or leave a comment on the Facebook page like those nice people that we talked about. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to subscribe on our website at duelingogres.com for new shows and articles pertaining to some of your favorite geek news. We're all over the place when it comes to the social medias too.
Yeah.
I opened us up a Pinterest account too.
You does have a Pinterest?
Yeah, apparently. I said, why not?
Yeah. So you want to follow us on Pinterest?
Yeah, you can do that. I'll be pinning some things. Do you have Pinterest on your phone or anything? Why not?
Because I don't use Pinterest.
You should.
Use Pinterest.
You should. You could pin things to our wall. I was listening to another podcast, the Audacity. It was like the Audacity podcast or something like that. And he was interviewing a lady on the benefits of putting your podcast out on Pinterest as well. There is a lot of audience on Pinterest.
Yeah.
That you could potentially tap into, but it's technically against the terms of service to only share your own stuff. So you really want to be active and pinning other people's stuff as well as putting up your own stuff.
Okay.
So I think that you should go ahead and download Pinterest and sign into our account and just start liking shit. I don't care what it is. Just when you're bored, you pause the game, you're gonna take a shit. Just go in there and just be like,
Just like some stuff.
just pin this. I pinned it.
Okay, I'll get Pinterest on my phone.
Yes. And finally, be sure to leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Find us on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Satchel. What's the other one?
Oh, we just got on a new one. Google Play.
Google Play on their Google Podcast thing. I don't know if it's a proper app or not, but you can find us on the Google Music, I think is what it is.
Okay.
So you can find us there. We're everywhere.
Or wherever you're listening to us right now.
Yeah.
You can find us there as well.
Yeah, you can find us where you're listening to us. It's very meta.
Yeah.
I don't even know why I do that. It's like if you're already listening to us, then you've found us.
Well, but you could run the chance that somebody is only listening through our website.
Yeah.
Because they think that's only where it is. And now they're like, well, I can download it on my phone and listen to it on the go?
Yeah,
My God.
that's true. You raise a valid point. Of course, our website is mobile friendly, so you can listen to it on the website on your phone.
Yeah.
In fact, if you do that, that just increases the amount of time that you're on my website, which is good for my SEO.
Yeah.
I'm not a marketing strategist or anything. Oh, God. Do you have anything else you want to add?
We've been pushing for a while to try to get to 300 likes on our Facebook page.
Oh, yes, yes.
We are suddenly we were sitting at 299 for forever.
Yeah.
And then we jumped and went up to 302.
Yep.
Which it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's huge for us because we kind of hit like a stagnation point for a little bit.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for liking us. We said we were going to launch a new shirt once we got to 300.
Right.
We have the design done. Remington and I are just trying to figure out some basics on whether we want the words or not the words, like some boring shit.
Yeah.
But the shirt will be launching very soon. Probably not by the time this episode comes out, but very shortly after. We just have some final stuff we have to get done.
Right.
And then we're going to have a cool new design for the shirts.
That's right. Super cute design done by Rebecca Williamson.
And me.
And you.
I did it too. I drew it originally.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you fucking shut me out. I drew it. She based it.
I drew the heads.
I did the bodies, and that's really where the
That's
eye,
right.
That's where the eye goes to.
Yeah, and to be and to be fair, she just took our shitty ideas and made them super adorbs.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. That's right.
That's fucking funny.
Yeah. Because she's an insanely talented artist.
Yeah. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yep.
Remington, thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Thank you for coming up with the body.
Thanks us both.
Thanks to everybody.
Thanks us both.
English is good.
All right.
So until next week, Ogres. Sorry we petered out there.
Yeah.
Keep
We're
your clubs-
strong. We're strong. Go.
We're strong. Keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good night. High fives.
Yes.
Yes, bro. Get your bro fist on. No, we're not bro fisting.
No.
No. There's no fisting going on in this room. Yet.
Yes. Remington, print out my notes.
I already did.
Print my notes. Where are they?
They're on the printer.
Give me.
Open the door.
Give me notes.
Open the door.
Give me notes now for Brandon notes. Your printer's in your fucking closet?
Yes.
Why?
It's a network printer.
That's dumb.
You're dumb.
Yeah. No?
Yeah. Yeah.
But if you try sometimes.
You get what you need.
Oh, baby. I don't know why I'm not in the Rolling Stones. Oh, baby.
Oh, baby.
You can't always get what you want. No.
But sometimes you get what you need.
Oh. What do you need?
You need it in the butt is what you need. What? That escalated quickly.
Rolling Stones with a divisive new album. We decided we were going to redo all our old songs, but in kind of a talky singy style. I see a red door. I want to paint it black. Oh no, I'm out of paint. Or we can talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about all the good things and the bad things.
And the things with the things in the things.
And the things and the things.
Thing, a thing, a thing.
If we ever do a video of us, we need to finish with like anime style. Keep your clubs blunt and your tusks sharp.
Good night.
Good night. And then we turn into
Okay, I got you.
see what I mean?
So until next week, Ogres, keep your clubs blunt.
And your tusks sharp.
Good night.
And then,
And then an
when
explosion.
we touch fists, like things grow over our arms and bodies.
I mean, just because I'm okay at After Effects doesn't mean that I'm great at After Effects.
Well, I'm saying like long term.
I see. We could pay somebody else to do it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't always have to walk around with the weight of the world on your shoulders. Remington.
I just do everything. All the things.
Oh.
All right, we're done. I wasn't paying attention.
I really wanted to do that. Sorry. Thank you, everybody. We love you. With my crime on my bunny and my bunny on my crime.